Hello everyone. I welcome you all to this lesson. In this lesson, today I am going to discuss on the topic Grandma Climbs a Tree, which is written by Ruskin Bond. In this lesson, I will discuss line by line explanation, word meanings, poetic devices, theme, and moral of the poem. So here I begin. And before that, let me ask you, have you subscribed to my channel? If you haven't subscribed up till now, then please do and watch the video till end and press the like button if you have liked it. So children, let us start with the poem Grandma Climbs a Tree, which is written by Ruskin Bond. First of all, I will discuss the title of the poem Grandma Climbs a Tree. In this poem, Grandma Climbs a Tree, which is written by Ruskin Bond, as the title suggests, how an old woman keeps the childish habits and desires. The poet explained his grandma's habit. He called her a genius because she could climb a tree in that old age, that is, even at the age of 62. Now I will tell you something about the poet Ruskin Bond. Ruskin Bond was born in Kasauli, Himachal Pradesh. Now he lives in Mussoorie in Uttaranchal. He has been awarded the Sahitya Academy Award in 1992, the Padma Shri in 1999 and the Padma Bhushan in 2014. He has written more than 30 books for children. Grandma Climbs a Tree shows the poet's great ability to find and describe the unusual persons and events with warmth and humor. Now, a brief description about the poem. This is a beautiful poem where the poet describes and is trying to describe his grandma. How his grandma has a very different hobby, and this hobby is climbing trees. You don't find the hobby in most of the grandmas of this world, isn't it, children? But here, he is saying this, Grandma, my grandma has a hobby of climbing a tree. So this poem is filled with warmth and love for the family and also a little bit humorous. Grandma Climbs a Tree shows the poet's great ability to enjoy unusual events and actions, which his grandma does even at the age of 62. His grandma had a passion of climbing trees from a very young age. The only problem was that the poet's family was scared that one day she would fall. Once, everyone except Grandma was out of the town. The old lady, climbs a tree but is unable to come down. After being rescued, as the poet says, the doctor advised her to take rest. However, Grandma is not able to live without a tree. So she tells poet's father to build a tree house. So in this way, the poet and the grandma spent their evening by sitting in the tree house, drinking sherry. This poem shows the unconditional love the poet has towards his family. It shows his ability to enjoy unusual events and actions. Now, the first stanza, and the lines are: My grandmother was a genius. You would like to know why? Because she could climb trees, spreading or high. She would be up their branches in a trice. And mind you, When last she climbed a tree, she was 62. Now the word meaning. Genius means stupidity or intelligent also you can say. Branches refers to the part of which grows out of the trunk. In a trice means very quickly or in a moment. Spreading trees means the width of the tree's branches, that is from one side to the tree straight through the trunk of the other side. Now the explanation of the first stanza. In this stanza, the poet is asking a question. Would you like to know why I am calling my grandma a genius? Because she could climb trees no matter trees are spreading or high. Spreading trees means the width of the tree. She would be up there, branches. In a trice means in a moment, in a second, or very quickly. She would climb the trees. For example, mango tree, banyan tree, tall trees, and tall trees, for example, coconut tree, eucalyptus trees, whether they were high or spreading. This is amazing that grandma is so active, so energetic that even at the age of 62, she could climb a trees. So children, in this stanza we have learned that the poet describes his granny's love for trees. The poet calls his grandmother a genius because she could climb trees of any type of trees, wide, high, tall, upright trees, as well as lower ones whose branches spread out very quickly, very easily, and swiftly. She had learned climbing trees at a tender age of 6 years from her brother, and she even climbed the tree when she was 62 years. That is, when she had last climbed the tree, she was 62 years of age. Now the poetic devices used in this stanza are: number 1, rhyming scheme. This stanza follows the rhyming scheme of AABB, and the words from the stanza are Y, high, U, 6. Now I move towards the second stanza, and the lines are: ever since childhood, she had this gift for being happier in a tree than in a lift. And though as years went by, she would be told that climbing trees should stop when one grew old. Now the word meaning. Gift here means climbing a tree. Childhood refers to the state of being a child. Now the explanation of the second stanza. In this stanza, poet says that it was God's gift to her that she could climb the trees at a very tender age. There is a comparative degree applied here. That is, if you take grandma to a tree or to a lift, she would be happier to spend her time on a tree rather than being in a lift. So here children, we come to know that how fond grandma was on climbing a tree. And though as years went by, she would be told that climbing trees should be stopped when one grew old, means like every other family in the world, her family also used to suggest her that, Grandma, now you are too old, and at this point of time, at this age, you should avoid climbing trees. Why they are saying so? This is so because they are her well-wishers. They are her family members, and It could also be possible that even her neighbors who are close to her or near to her would tell her so, that at this age climbing trees should be stopped. But Grandma was happier in the company of nature climbing trees rather than using a modern amenities like the lift. The suggestions could also include the idea that lift is the artificial and unhealthy mode used by us to avoid climbing the stairs. Now, the poetic device used in this stanza are number one, rhyming scheme. This stanza follows the rhyming scheme of AABB, and the words from the stanza are gift, lift, told, and old. Now I move towards the third stanza, and the lines are, and that growing old should be gone about gracefully. She would laugh and say, well, I'll grow disgracefully. I can do it better. And we had to agree, for in all the garden there wasn't a tree. Now the word meaning. Gracefully means in an attractive, elegant way. Disgracefully refers to something which is unacceptable. Should be gone about means should be done. Now the explanation of the third stanza. In this stanza, the poet says that, and that growing old should be gone about gracefully, where should be gone about means should be done. That means there is a definite pattern or there is a different way or manner of doing everything, and when you are old, you should spend your old age in a very graceful manner, in a very sophisticated manner. That is what the family used to suggest. She would laugh and say, well, I will grow disgracefully. But Grandma was so fond of climbing trees that she used to say, okay, if climbing trees is not considered as graceful, then I am happy to grow old disgracefully. What does disgracefully means? It means something which is unacceptable to the family, to the society, to the people who are around them. But for her, this is a moment of happiness for her. And she is saying that it does not matter what you are or other people think of me. I am ready to grow old disgracefully, but I will not quit my hobby of climbing trees. So she is so adamant of climbing the trees that she is not bothered to know what other people say about her passion. I can do it better. And we had to agree, for in all the garden there wasn't a tree. Every time she would climb a tree, she would say that I can do it better. She would never be satisfied with the way she climbed, with the speed she climbed, because she knew that she could be better, and everybody in that family used to agree with this thing, because they are saying that there are no trees left in the garden which Grandma had not climbed. So children, what we have seen that as Grandma was growing old, she was advised not to climb trees as it looked disgraceful. However, she did not pay any heed to this advice and continued climbing trees as she loved climbing trees. She had the spirit of freedom in her thoughts and actions. Now the poetic device used in this stanza are number one, rhyming scheme. This stanza follows the rhyming scheme of AABB, and the words from the stanza are gracefully, disgracefully, agree, and tree. Second one is alliteration. Alliteration is a figure of speech where the use of some letter or sound at the beginning of the words that are close together that the and the line from the stanza is growing old should be gone about gracefully, where G sound is heard or repeated. Now I move towards the fourth stanza, and the lines are: she hadn't been up at one time or another, having learned to climb from a loving brother when she was 6, but it was feared by all that one day she would have a terrible fall. Now the word meaning. Learn means having acquired much knowledge. Feared means be afraid of. Terrible means extremely bad or serious. Now the explanation of the fourth stanza. In this stanza, the poet says that his grandma had so much passion for climbing trees that she did not even leave one tree of his garden which was not climbed by her. And where did she learn this trait from? She learnt it from her brother when she was only 6 years of age. But it was feared by all that one day she would have a terrible fall. But everybody used to be concerned for her that one day she might fall down from the tree and would injure herself. Now the poetic device used in this stanza are the rhyming scheme. This stanza follows the rhyming scheme of AABB, and the lines from the stanza and the words from the stanza are another, brother, all, and fall. Now I move towards the fifth stanza, and the lines are: the outcome was different while we were in town. She climbed a tree and couldn't come down. After the rescue, the doctor took Granny's temperature and said, I strongly recommend a quiet week in bed. Now the word meaning. Outcome means result. Rescue means save someone from a dangerous or difficult situation. Temperature here means the body temperature above the normal. Recommend refers to put forward with approval or to advocate. Quiet means silent or silence. Now the explanation of the fifth stanza. In this stanza, the poet says that the outcome was different while we were in town. She climbed a tree and couldn't come down. The outcome means the result of something was different. They expected that she might fall one day, but the outcome was that she climbed a tree one day when everybody was in town. She was all alone at home and she was not able to come down from the tree. She was not able to climb down, and that is why she felt sick. Maybe due to fear or panic or whatever the reason is, she felt sick. When the family member came there, rescued her means they helped her to come down from the tree, and they called the doctor. The doctor took Granny's temperature and said, I strongly recommend a quiet week in bed. The doctor suggested a complete bed rest for 1 week for Granny. There was no major harm to her. Now the poetic device used in this stanza are the rhyming scheme. This stanza follows the rhyming scheme of AABB, and the words from the stanza are town, down, said, and bed. Number 2, alliteration. Alliteration is a figure of speech where the occurrence of the same letter or sound at the beginning of the adjacent or closely connected words. And the line from the stanza is while we were, where W sound is repeated. Now I move towards the sixth stanza, and the lines are: we sighed with relief and tucked her up well. Poor granny, for her it was like a brief season of hell, confined in her bedroom while every breeze whispered of summer and dancing leaves. Now the word meanings. Sigh means to emit a long, deep, audible breath expressing relief. Relief means remedy. Tucked means fold, push, or turn the edges of a bedcloth. Season in hell refers to a period of pain and torture. Confined means restricted to an area. Breeze means gentle wind. Now the explanation of the sixth stanza. In this stanza, the poet says that when the doctor recommended a week's bed rest for Granny, then they sighed with relief and tucked her up well means they were relaxed and tucked her up well in bed. That means covered her up with the bedclothes or quilt to make her feel comfortable in the bed. That is known as tuck. Poor Granny, for her it was like a season in hell. Season in hell means a period of pain and torture. So, such a lively lady who used to climb the tree, she used to enjoy her life, has to be in bed for a complete 1 week. It is nothing less than a torture for her. Confined to her bedroom. Confined means restricted to an area. She was restricted to her bedroom, while every breeze here means gentle wind that blows, whispered of summer and dancing leaves. So children, the grandma just imagine the summer and the leaves dancing on the trees. The family members were happy and looked after her, and they wished that she would stay in bed and be out of the trouble. Now, children, if I ask you, what was like a brief season in hell? The answer will be being confined to bed for a week was like a brief season in hell for Grandma. It was like a prison, and she felt that she is prisoned in her room. During her rest period, when she was in her room, she can feel the breeze and the whisper of the dancing leaves in the summer. Now the poetic device used in this stanza are: number 1, rhyming scheme. This stanza follows the rhyming scheme of AABB, and the words from the stanza are well, hell, breeze, and leaves. Number 2, simile. A simile is a figure of speech that makes a comparison showing similarities between two different things by using the words like or as. And the line from the stanza is like a brief season in hell, which means that Granny was confined in her bedroom and tucked up to her bed was compared as a brief season in hell. It means the bedroom was like a hell for her because she was a very lively lady. Number 3, personification. Personification is a figure of speech which is used for inanimate objects or animate objects. For example, animals or birds looking or behaving like humans. The line from the stanza, while every breeze whispers of summer and dancing leaves, that means we know summer can't whisper and leaves cannot dance. The poet has given these qualities as human qualities. So here summer is whispering and leaves are dancing, has been given the human attributes. So it is personified. Now I move towards the seventh stanza, and the lines are: But she had held her peace till she felt stronger. Then she sat up and said, I'll lie here no longer. And she called for my father and told him, undaunted, that a house in a treetop was what she now wanted. Now the word meaning, held here in peace, means to keep quiet. Undaunted means without hesitation. Tree house means any wooden house made on a tree top. Now the explanation of the seventh stanza. In this stanza, the poet says that, but she said she had held her peace till she felt stronger, means till she recovered, she was peacefully lying on the bed. Then when she recovered, she sat up and said, I'll lie here no longer, means I will not live here any long. And she calls my father and told him undaunted, where the undaunted means without any hesitation. She called my father. Now who is my? My is the Ruskin born. So he calls Ruskin born's father, means her son, that a house in a treetop was what she now wanted. So she told her son to build a tree house for her so that she could live on a tree for 24 hours throughout the day. That is why she demanded a tree house. However, Grandma was unable to live without a tree. She had resisted the temptation to climb trees for a week and could no longer do so. She peacefully waited till she became stronger and then ordered her son to build a house on the treetop for her. Now the poetic device used in this stanza are: number 1, rhyming scheme. This stanza follows the rhyming scheme of AABB, and the words from the stanza are stronger, longer, undaunted and wanted. Number 2, alliteration. In this stanza, the lines I will lie here no longer, where L sound is repeated, and that a house on a treetop, where T sound is repeated. Now I move towards the eighth stanza, and the lines are: My dad knew his duties, he said. That's all right. You'll have what you want, dear. I'll start work tonight. With my expert assistance, he soon finished the core, made a tree house with windows and doors. Now the word meaning. Core means task. Expert assistance means refer to the poet and the grandson of the grandma. Tree house refers to any wooden house made on the tree top. Now the explanation of the eighth stanza. In this stanza, the poet says that Dad said, Okay, dear mother, you will have what you say. That is, what you want. I will start the work tonight. With my expert assistant means grandson's assistant, that is, the poet's assistant. He soon finished the core. Core means the task. Made a tree house with windows and a door. The father built a tree house with the help of his son for his mother, that is, the poet's grandmother. The dutiful dad did the granny's wish. With the poet's help, he built a beautiful treetop for the granny. The poet's dad knew his duties mean he agreed to fulfill his mother's desire immediately because he was an obedient child and loved his mother very much. Now the poetic device used in this stanza are: number 1, the rhyming scheme. This stanza follows the rhyming scheme of AABB, and the words from the stanza are right, dear, tonight, do. Now I move towards the ninth and the last stanza, And the lines are, so Granny moved up, and now every day I climb to her room with glasses and tray. She sits there in state and drinks sherry with me, upholding her right to reside in a tree. Now the word meaning. Sherry means a strong yellow or brown wine, that is a grape wine. Upholding means confirm or support. Now the explanation of the ninth and the last stanza. In this stanza, the poet says that the dutiful father made or constructed a beautiful tree house on the treetop for Granny with the help of the poet. So Granny moved up means she shifted to the tree house, and now every day I climb to her room with glasses and tray means every day the grandson used to climb to the tree house with glasses and tray, and they used to sit together over there, and they used to drink sherry, upholding her right to reside in a tree, where sherry refers to a strong yellow or brown wine, that is a kind of grape juice, and upholding means confirming or supporting. Everyday Granny used to sit in a tree house, live in a tree house, and she is upholding her right, that is supporting her right to reside or live in a tree. So now Grandma is very happy as she is living in a tree. The grandson is bringing food and sherry for her every day. She sits there and eats and drinks with her grandson. Like this, she can claim her right to live on a tree. Now, the poetic device used in this stanza are number 1, the rhyming scheme. This stanza follows the rhyming scheme of AABB, and the words from the stanza are everyday, tray, me, and tree. Number 2, alliteration. The occurrence of the same letter of sound at the beginning of the adjacent or closely connected word, and the lines are, she sits there in a state and drinks sherry with me, where S sound is repeated. Right to reside, where R sound is repeated. Now children, I'll tell you the theme of the poem. Grandma Climbs a Tree is a beautiful poem in which the poet projects Grandma as a feisty, small, lively, determined, and courageous old lady. She followed what her heart told her and was unconventional in her ways. It is clear that she does not want to leave any stone unturned and fulfills all her desire. Grandma is a metaphor for free will, and though her projection, the poet breaks the myth that women and old people cannot climb trees. So, in this poem, the poet describes his grandma not only climbing trees, also living on trees is a great style. Following is the theme of the poem. Number 1, love. In this poem, we find unconditional love between the grandmother and the grandson, grandmother and son, and between father and son. This is a poem in which both the father and grandson is considered towards grandmother, is considerate towards grandmother. They love her very much. You know, children, no love is greater than mom's love, and no care is greater than dad's care. Number 2 is obedient. Grandma's son is a very obedient child, and he is ready to obey all what his grandmother, his mother, desires. The poet calls his grandmother a genius. Obedience is the mother of success and is wedded to safety. So children, always obey your parents when they are present. Number 3, dutiful. Poet's father was a dutiful son. He knew his duties very well. So, as soon as the grandma told him to construct a house for her, he immediately, with the help of Poet, made a beautiful tree house on the tree top for her. You know, children, the 6 biggest blessings in this world are wealth and permanent health, a friend and a wife, dutiful son, and useful knowledge. These are the biggest blessings in this world. So was the poet's father, who was a dutiful son. Now the moral of the poem. The poem Grandma Climbs a Tree portrays Ruskin Bond's love for his family. The love in our family flows strong and deep, leaving us memories to treasure and keep. You know, being in a family means you are a part of something very wonderful. It means you will love and be loved for the rest of your life. So love is a great beautifier. Always love your parents, grandparents, and value them. So, dear children, with these words, I end my lesson. Hope it will be beneficial for you in your studies. Watch the video till end. Do like, share, and subscribe my channel and enjoy this beautiful poem and an unconditional love of the poet for his grandmother. Thank you.